Hello. So the first video, I explained how to create an account for the application process, the user account, the user login for the application process. In this video, I would explain how to fill up the application process. So from the first video, we have a username and a password. So right now, I'm going to begin with that. Krishna, and I would start my. Now we enter the application process. Usually there is a start application tab here. You click in, you begin the process. First page contains program information you are interested in. So we begin like, are you a domestic student or international applicant? Most of the graduate students, they would be the international graduate. Click on that and the program you are interested in. For the purpose of this video, I would select industrial management. Then which semester do you plan to apply for? So let's assume that I go for fall 2017. These two sections, you could leave them blank because most of them won't know what specialization they want. Then the educational goal, the initial degree you want to seek from this university, obviously it's master's, and the final degree would be master's. Then you click save and continue. Then it's your personal details, like in my purpose of the video, it would be Krishna last name and Suresh first name. Some of you might have a middle name, so you could, if you have a middle name, you could put it in. If you don't, just leave it blank. And if you have a junior or senior, 1, 2, 3, 4 with your names, for example, John second or John Junior. If you have something like that, you could fill this up. If you don't have any, just leave it blank. And SSN, obviously you don't have one because SSN is provided, social security number is provided once you get a job in the US. So you will not worry about that. In the date of birth, remember that this date of birth is the same as the one you filled up for the account application. And the gender, so you could, in this case, I'm male, so I'll just put male. Place of birth, the birth city. So I'm just assuming that I'm from Delhi, so I put Deoli city. Well, this section is just for the American states, US states, so you'll not worry about that. Birth country, you can put in India. Deoli is a city in Delhi. Then your US citizen status. If you are a US native or you're permanent resident, you can put that up. But if you're not, most of them won't be. So just click in, just put in seeking a student visa, F1 visa. And this is just for the US citizens who are born outside the US. So you don't have to worry about that. And the permanent address. Well, this is a, city complex, 1, 2, 3, Amar Avenue, Deoli, New Delhi, New Delhi 110062. And city, you could put it as Deoli. That's a city in Delhi. This one is for the Texas residents only, so you don't have to worry about it if you're an international student or you're from other states of the US. In this one also, you could just leave it blank because just for US addresses only. And just fill this up as India because New Delhi is in India. And then okay, in this section, if you have a different current address where you're living right now, you could put in that. But if you don't, if the current address is same as the permanent address, you could just put in, you can just click yes, and it will fill up automatically once you save and continue. But imagine if you're working somewhere else in India and you have a different current address where your email, where your mails or letters come in, you could click no and you could fill it up. But in this case, I'm just going to put yes, so it will automatically fill up. And the phone details, well, your uh, your valid email address, which are given for the user account application. Then the primary phone number you could just give, and make sure you follow this format, the three numbers, hyphen 4 numbers. I'm just going to give a random number right now, hyphen 538 hyphen 4489. So the primary is this section, this question is like whether the given number is a cell phone, home, or a work number, business number. So in this case, it's a cell phone number. And if you have an alternate phone number, you could give that. It's not mandatory. Well, the star sign, the star on these things identify that these are mandatory. Without that, you cannot proceed with the application. So this is this section, phone and email. But if you have an alternate phone number, you could put in. Then this section, the next section is the emergency contact information, where you could give anyone's contact name. Like for this application, I would give father's name. And the contact number. In this one, we do not follow the other number, but you can just fill in, you know, and these are not mandatory, just a phone number and the name is mandatory. And then we click save and continue because this section is done. If you want to put in more details, you're most welcome, but even these would do. Click and save and continue. So now they say there is a problem. The permanent zip or postal code, the required field has been left blank. So we go down. See, now if I don't know my zip or postal code, I could just put in 5 zeros. But in this case, I have given here a postal code here. So I could actually provide the same. Sometimes you tend to miss a blank. Don't worry. At the end of the application or while you go to the next page, they would notify you with the mistake, or if you left a blank, if you left a space in some sections, so you could go back and do it. You would go back and correct it. And now we click save and continue. We go to the next page where it's your degree, undergrad degree information. So if you want, you could actually look for your college. If you cannot find it, you put in the name and you look up. If it doesn't show up, you could type in here. So I'm going to put NIT, city DOE, and country India. So this is the place where you want your transcript to find out your date. So I'm going to put September 2007 to May 2011. So, so this section asks you whether you will have a degree in your hand by the time you get admitted to University of Texas Tyler. If you have a degree, if you would get a degree by then, click yes. If you don't, then click no. So you could just like, you could click in engineering. If you are going for engineering STEM degrees like civil, electrical, mechanical, industrial management, you need to have an engineering degree, click Bachelor of Engineering. But if you have MBA, you would get business related degrees here. Then you put a major degree here. For example, I would put mechanical engineering. And since I don't have a second major field, so I just leave it blank. In hours earned, I just leave it blank. What is the last institution? So this question asks you whether the last institution you have done your undergrad was your highest degree earned, or is it like, is there another master's degree you have earned from another college? So if you have done a master's degree other than after your bachelor degree, you could put no. Yeah, but if it is like the last institution you went was for your bachelor's degree, you would put yes. Then we go to the next one. So if you have a master's degree, first master's degree, you could fill in this form. When you have a professional degree, you could fill in this section up. But if you don't have any of those, like what I have, I just have a bachelor's degree. So I would leave these two blank, and then you go to save and continue. So now again, there is a thing, it's called required field has been left blank in section educational background. So right now we will just continue with the application. We will come back to it. So in this one, this page is like, how did you hear about e-Tyler? From an advisor, from Billboard, from Egypt Scholars, from friends and family, from a gadget fair. So I would just assume I heard it from friend and family. And then I click save and continue. It's like additional citizenship information. So it's like, do you hold, which country are you from? So I'll just click India. Then do you hold a permanent resident status? Well, no, because obviously most of us are with F1 student visa. Then if you're not a permanent student, permanent resident, do you have an application for permanent residence? If you don't have one pending with the U.S. Immigration Office, then click no. Are you foreign national here with a visa that makes you eligible? So you click that. Then you check for F1 visa. If you can't find, then just click none of the above. If you're not citizen or permanent residence, or have an application, have you previously attended the university? So they're asking you like if you have attended UT Tyler before. Well, if you have, click yes. If no, then just click no and then click save and continue. Then the immigration status. This is the an important section where they ask you about immigration status. So are you currently residing in the US? Most of us are not. So just click no. But well, in this case, it's a no. And if you don't have any representative for this application, just leave these blank and then click save and continue. Then the immigration, there's a second part for it where it's like, if you're currently residing, please select your country current visa status. So most of us won't be residing here, won't be residing in the US by the time we apply for this. So just leave it blank. But if you are a student here, or if you are like transfer student, you could just fill it up with an F1 visa. Or if you're working here and you want to study, you could click the L1 visa or H1B. If you do not currently hold an F1 student visa, do you plan to change immigration non-immigrant visa status to F1 student visa? So if they are asking like non-immigrant visa, you plan to change it to visa F1 visa, student visa, yes. So most of us won't have an I-94 until we travel first time to the US. So you can just leave it blank and then click save and continue. In the immigration information, continue. Okay. Will you require a Form I-20 in order to obtain your visa? Yes, obviously. We would need a I-20 for the visa interview. So we click yes. Why do you expect the source of financial support? If okay, they're asking you who's going to sponsor you. So if it's your family or your father or your relatives, click, or your personal account, click that. In this case, I'm going to click personal account. If it's a government, so like some countries around the world, they do government sponsor their studies. So clicking government, and the next one is like if you're married or not. I want to put single, and this section deals with the dependent visa. If you're going to bring your spouse with you, so you will fill all these up. If you have a child, one child, second child, third child, fourth child, you fill those up. If you don't have any, just leave them blank and then click save and continue. And then this is a new program which is going to start in fall 2017. It's called Refer a Friend. The program is that the applicant, if he refers an alumni or current student at the University of Texas at Tyler, the student whose name is going to be put in the application would receive $100 gift card. So in this case, I don't have anyone, so I just click no and I continue. And this is like certification information. We agree to the terms and conditions of the application process, and we click again save and continue. So now this section is almost done, but if you want to preview your application in PDF format, you could click that. So this section shows you your complete application process. If you want to cross check on your details, you could do that. And you can print it out. You can click the print tab here, and you can keep a copy of it for future reference. And then we go back to the application. So once you have cross-checked the application, you click this box here for confirmation of submission, and you click continue. Now this is the application fee payment area. It's $75 for the application fee, which will not be waived off under any circumstances. So either you could pay through credit card, or you can send a check through email, through mail. Sorry about that. So in this case, I would click check mail by payment, and then I click pay and continue. Click OK. And this is the last step where you fill in your name as signature, where you agree to the terms and conditions, and you submit application. And there you are. So the application has been submitted. It's been a success. Then now the Office of Graduate School will send you an email about this application submission. And after this process, you will need to send your GRE scores, TOEFL scores, or IELTS scores, your evaluated transcript in case of MBA programs and business management. If not, you'll have to send your official transcripts for engineering departments, other engineering departments, computer science, electrical, mechanical, civil. And that's it. Thank you for watching the video. Hope it helps most of you complete your application smooth. Thank you and have a nice day.